Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Terence Lushington, and I am your lead host for Landed for Success. Landed for Success is a platform for business, for entrepreneurs, for people with small and medium businesses. We've been around for about 17 months, and we've grown to an audience of about 18,000 people. Today, I'm interviewing a few of our spot guest speakers. So what I mean by that is we have some people who give gift cards to be a spot speaker, and they talk about the business in a more specific detail. So we do a three segment course. So we first interview them, we get to know who they are, then we give them a spot on our event, which is every Thursday, every last Thursday of the month, and they speak for 2 minutes. At that time, we have the fun part of it, and we have the lucky draw. They call numbers, and anybody who joins, anybody, you could be a guest or you could be a Landed for Success member, gets a chance to win cash. So it's cash in the format of an Amazon card, $25. Sometimes they give $100. I know Paul has done that a couple of times. Aha, I check up on you, my buddy. So without any further ado, Mr. Paul Joseph, and he's from the land on the other side. So he'll tell you all about that. So he's an incredible dadpreneur, and he is, of course, the co-founder of 24 Virtual. Now, before I go into the questions with Paul, everybody should really, I mean, really pay attention to what Paul has to say, because he can turn not only your life right over, but he can turn your bank account 3 to 1 to what it is. Mm-hmm. And if you don't know what passive residual income is, then listen to Paul, because Paul will show you how to be sitting on a beach and having money come into your bank. Ching, ching, ching. Mr. Paul Joseph, the stage is all yours, my friend.
Excellent, sir. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Great to meet you again. It's always a pleasure to be in the presence of excellence.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So go ahead, Paul. So normally I ask three questions. What's it all about?
Okay.
What's in it for us? Mm-hmm. And will we get help? But with you, because you really got into my system, right? So I have to go with it. I gotta go.
Paul, you know what? Ask me the most difficult questions. You know, you've been in the space for decades, so you know what all of us face, and you know what my space is. So put me on the spot. I'm all yours.
I just want to know what makes Paul tick.
Paul tick. Oh man, Paul. I've been in the corporate world pretty much my entire life, and I've had side gigs, so to speak, throughout those years as well, right? So I'm a visionary. So I've had multiple side gigs all at once. So now I'm in a phase of transitioning from my corporate world, which I haven't fully left. It's still lurking around, but essentially I want to get out of that space. It served me well, but now it's time to get out of there, put my potential to full use, and serve the people.
Interesting. So saying that, right? So you said you moved from where you were in the corporate world. I'm sure you were in a good position in the corporate world, and to make a step from that to say, I'm going to do my own thing.
Right.
That takes a lot, because you're a married man, right? You've got a family. So, there's so much that goes in the back of our heads when we start to make that transition of decision, right? So saying that, what made you take that step to do it?
One of the key factors is both my boys, right? Like, they're young. My corporate world takes me away from home every other week. I do work in a rural area in northern parts of Alberta. So we are in a camp setting where, I've been in that position, I would say, for the past 8 years. Every other week I'm away from home. So that does put a toll, in your family life and whatnot, as well as not being able to, be around your children. So if you look at the grand scheme of things, you're away from home half of the year, right? Because I only work half of the year, but at the same time, you're away from home that half a year. So you only literally spend, time with your children and your family, for the six months of the year. So with that being said, it was a time and point where my wife was like, well, how long do you really want to do this? I was like, I really want to be there just because the pay is great. The return on of my time spent was substantial. So in order to replicate that, I needed to create a business, and let go of these small little side hustles that that I've created over the years, and put my time and effort into something bigger that I'm able to scale. That was location independent, which was very important to me because I did not want to. If I was going to leave a corporate world, I don't want to be going to an office 9 to 5. Going to a business or going to a restaurant, 16 hours of the day, right? To be able to start, a franchise or whatnot. So the importance to start a business that's scalable, nationwide, internationally, what have you. At the same time, the location independence was the key deciding factor in venturing into this business that we currently started.
Fantastic. And for the audience, for the audience that are listening, this goes to them as well, because you let people feel
Hmm.
what the reality of life is. Life
Right.
is not all about money. Life is about yourself, your health, your family, your kids, and the surroundings of what you do and for whom you do it for. And you emphasize that in a very educational way that people sometimes don't resonate. They always go, money, money, money. It's not about that. It's about this. You were in the corporate world at a
Right.
high level, right? So saying that, you've now transitioned yourself into something I find, it's an open market there. But
Right.
what you bring to the market is unique. And I always like unique businesses.
Right.
And you have a very unique business that I would love you to tap into and tell us all about.
Sure, most definitely. So our core business is pretty much phone calls. We handle phone calls for local businesses, that are small, medium-sized enterprises. So essentially, a lot of times when we position ourselves or we present ourselves as a call answering service, most people think that we are a call center, which in case, it's true to one respect, but to the other respect in tapping into that market is we are, think of us as an extension to your current business, right? So we could integrate well within your back end software systems, whatever you have, and then to be able to handle your phone calls, um, as if you had an in-house receptionist working alongside you at the cost of 1/10 per year, right? So our average spend, if you're looking at it, for average salary in Canada right now, I believe is around $47,000, $48,000. What you'll be spending for your in-house receptionist, whereas you could get away with us between spending $5,000 and $10,000 a year, right? And that's all based on call volume, as well as what other integrations you want us to handle for you, right? So essentially, the autonomy is there for you as a business owner, because now, for us to be able to handle 24-hour phone calls for 24 hours a day, that gives you that freedom, that flexibility to use us according to what you need, right? So if you're a realtor, you want to handle your phone calls, you're doing your showings at that moment. Do you want the call coming in going to your voicemail, or you could simply forward your phone call to us while you're doing your showings and what have you? We'll take the message, we'll direct those calls accordingly, and then when you're done, you could take off your forwarding, and then you're back to normal business, right? Same thing goes for lawyers. As a lawyer, you go into a courtroom. Do you want your clients reaching your voicemail, or do you want a live answering service that could cater better to provide that client experience for your clients? Essentially, that missed call could, for some lawyers, that could be tens of thousands of dollars, sometimes even $100,000 client, right? Especially those, like those divorce cases, right? They could land you that one call could be, 50 to $100,000, right? So you have to think of it in that respect, because a lot of business owners, especially in Canada, they're not um, educated, so to speak. Excuse my ignorance when it comes to those terms, because this business is not very vast in our space here in Canada at the moment. It's very vast in the United States. A lot of corporations are using similar services. It's just for us Canadians to be able to educate them in the right retrospect, to be, to trust a third party company to handle their business phone calls, to handle their business secrets, and to understand that those secrets are safe within, and that they're okay to use services such as ours. I'm not saying it has to be us, but I'm just saying use services such as ours to be able to simplify their business and their life.
Very interestingly said, and I tell you why. Because as we are shifting out of this pandemic, the people have been hurt. Even though government support has been there, but they are really hurting and they are grappling as to what we can do next. So here you are with a platform that can allow them to sustain the sustainability plus more, right? So now they don't have to say, oh, if I went to close the store for a day or an hour and I went out, would I lose the calls? And especially for the big businesses in the sense of the medium. And I like the way you said about lawyers. That's important because those people, they make the $500 to $1,200 an hour.
Right.
And they don't lose that money, right? And then you come in the picture. And by the way, you really cater to the business needs. So you cut and shape everybody appropriately, and it's really a human being integrating in all the business. Am I correct?
That is correct. Yes.
So that's amazing. So it's not just like somebody is saying, okay, Siri is on and she is talking. This is the real McCoy, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. A lot of people don't understand the importance of human connection, human interaction. A lot of businesses like that we've come across, they'll just like, oh, I'll just let it go to my voicemail. Yes, but as you as an individual, how many times have you called a business and you got a voicemail? What is the next thing you do? You go to the next business that's going to answer your phone call because you want an immediate solution to the problem that you currently have, because you cannot put that problem off. So if you are a business owner and you're not answering your phone calls and you're okay with allowing it to go to your voicemail, you're doing a disservice to those that are calling you.
Interesting. Very interesting. I'd also like to ask you, is this a North American platform or is it a global platform?
I'm glad you asked that. As young a company we're actually a global platform. We have footings in North America, Philippines, and Europe. We have clients. Actually have a client who is a crypto company out of Denmark.
Okay.
So they wanted 20 dedicated agents, and they wanted 5 different languages. And in order for them to serve to the price point that they wanted and to be able to cater to the language requirements, we had to source our agents from Europe. So we have a strong footing now in Europe where we're able to handle clients for their multilinguistic needs. And with the Philippines, we're able to handle clients that have off-hour needs, that just want basic call answering service or whatnot. So the more integral or more integrated systems that we implement for a client, then we essentially stick with North American agents just because they're aware of the local processes, local laws. They understand the local laws better. They're able to process um, uh, information a lot quicker just because they're native to North America.
Interesting. And it was actually a two-pronged question because that's where the cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching comes in.
Right, right,
So if people don't know what I'm talking about,
right.
folks, if it's a global product, we're here today in India. It's nighttime, I believe. It's 1 o'clock in the morning there at night. So if you've got a business that's happening there, it's making money for you while Paul is monitoring everything that is possibly in the need of. So not too often that happens, and that's because of what you have in your business portfolio to assist. So anything else that I might want to ask that might give an oof? Oh yes, because you're part of Landed for Success. You're a member of Landed for Success. You're, I believe, a lifetime member of Landed for Success. So is there some sort of a special that you offer for the members on this platform?
We do. We have. I believe right now we had it set up as 10% off for 6 months for Landed for Success members. As essentially, depending on what services you choose, they vary according to the services, because we do provide 4 different services. We have a voice over IP system, and then which integrates, if you are interested in live receptionist, then we could add on the live receptionist. We also do virtual assistants, which where we source our virtual assistant agents from the Philippines and Europe, just to minimize cost to be able to provide for our clients, as well as the last one is our live chat support for your websites as well. So
Excellent.
depending on what the needs of the business is, then we're able to curate a plan accordingly.
So what you basically do is you get the company to sit with you. You spend some of your time. You go and you basically guide them what they should be doing instead of what they are doing.
Yeah, so you could essentially say that we're a free consultation firm.
That's what I mean. Like, I'm just thinking about that. You think about it, right? They really, and sometimes, I sound a little excited when I make the statement, but really, sometimes big businesses or middle or medium businesses don't know what they're doing. It's a small business that says, "Hey, Paul, tell me what to do," right? And then you guide them, and they don't think twice. They say, "I want to do that," and that's what they do. Correct? We've lost you. We've lost your. No.
Everything's very clear on my end.
Yeah, we just lost you there.
Okay, how about now?
Yeah, perfect.
Excellent.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll be taking care of that.
Oh yeah, no worries.
So you were saying?
Yeah, as I was saying, at 1 o'clock, I have an intake meeting with a client who's a property management company out of Mississauga.
Right.
So we sent out our intake form, and for 3 weeks he hasn't responded. So I reached out to him and I go, "Do you need help with this?" He goes, "I was hoping you'd reach out to me because I don't know how to fill this out." Right. So I set up a meeting. I'm like, "No worry, I'll help you with this." So essentially, it's a lot of business owners, they know their business, but they don't know how to let go of control and how to simplify or to even automate their businesses, because that's not their business. Right.
Yeah.
So he has several industrial properties. It's an industrial property management company. So they wanted somebody to handle their incoming phone calls, handle requests, but he didn't know how to create a client call flow, right? Because that's what we do. We create a client call flow. If a client is calling you, what experience you want that client to have from A to Z, right? And that's where we specialize in. We give you that client call flow and to see if you're satisfied with it before we go live. So we test it out. We create that call flow. We test it out, and then we bring you on a live call to give you that experience and to see, okay, are you satisfied, or do you notice any pinch points? If there are any pinch points, we will iron it out prior to going live. And once all that is sorted out, then we go live.
Absolutely amazing. And for people to reach out to you, if you don't mind just mentioning the best way to get in contact with you and chat with you or your staff or whoever they want to get in contact with.
Best thing is probably get in contact with me. My email is on the screen, pauljoseph@24hvirtual.com, or even, go to our website, 24hvirtual.com, and just fill out the get started form if you are interested, and then we'll go from there. And from that point onward, you'll set up an intro call with myself or my business partner, Sabrina, and we'll pretty much go through all the necessary information that you require, that you need or want us to handle. And then from there, we'll bring you on an onboarding process, and we'll create a custom client call flow or a customer call flow, and then test it out, go live.
Excellent. And just a reminder, Paul's in Edmonton, so don't call him at 8 o'clock in the morning, because that's 6 o'clock his time.
Yeah.
Well, just saying that, Paul, we thank you so very much for being part of Landed for Success. Just quickly on Landed for Success, it's been around for 16 months. I've been fortunate to be the MC and the coordinator and the host from day one. And it's a platform that is not only about the money, but it's about people. It's about caring. It's about sharing. It's about building a community. It's about a legacy. And I see, you've got opportunities all across, but you've given a committal to us, and that makes us feel so honored that we have people like you to be on our platform.
Thank you.
Because these are the people that build the business, and these are the people that help the founders, Gordon So and Mr. J. Jath Hannan, to build more, to feel more. And I think your essence of quality of what you bring, and please test Paul's platform out. Just test it for yourself and give reviews to Paul as to what you feel, good, bad, or ugly. But please, because he wants that. He wants people to interact. If you don't interact, you'll never know. You know what I mean? And please join him. And we love you to come back again and to be part of us. And Paul is always here. He's always committed. Today, I had to change the timing 3 times with him. And he said, no problem, I'll be there, you know. And I really thank you. We had a technical difficulty that we had to overcome. And finally, we got it done. But again, any last words for the audience, for the people, for anybody? Love to hear from you, Paul.
Oh yeah, no worries. Like I said, right, like a lot of people are reluctant to join these, networking events or networking groups. But one thing I do suggest is, try out Lander for Success, and put your time into it. Right. It'll be interesting to see who you become as an individual, because I'm more of a lone wolf kind of guy. I've always done things on my own, and then essentially coming into the B2B space, I needed to expand my horizon in terms to be able to connect with individuals who are like-minded, because prior it was just B2C, right? So I didn't have a need to connect with individuals in the business space. So it's interesting to see who I've become over the past several months, and my ability to speak has vastly improved in terms of just regularly talking to people, right? And my speak relative to the business aspect of this has improved vastly as well, because the knowledge that you gain when you're surrounded with similar individuals that speak the same language, you will only exponentially grow, and you'll notice the change within months. So those individuals that are on the fence about joining Lander for Success or any other networking groups, take a chance, just jump in. You'll be surprised as to who you become over the course of 1 or 2 years down the line.
And that's a wonderful comment. I love it. You know what you said just now? Forget about the business. Change yourselves.
Right.
And it happens automatically. You really don't do it. It just happens because you've got to be part of, right?
Yeah.
So when you get in the flow, you say, I love what the guy said. Next time you try it out. And it just works so well. So guys, thank you so very much, Paul. Before I go, definitely have to mention that every last Thursday of the month, which will be the 29th of next month, please join us. We have a platform. We have a limited of 100 people to come in. If you're not a member, become a member. There's about, I think, 47 lifetime member spots still left. It's only $100 plus tax. Those who were grandfathered in got lucky without paying the tax. delete that. So what I'm saying is just join us, have a good time, enjoy the conversation. And after that, I call it the after business party. So what we do is for those people who are serious, who really want to know more about Paul, who really want to ask more questions, then you jump on and Paul will stay there, and then he'll discuss with you the fundamentals, and he'll give you the essence of the nitty-gritty. He'll give you the meat of what it's all about. And then you can always create an appointment. I believe he'll give you a free consultation, and then he'll discuss with you and then make it happen for your business. I thank you very much, Mr. Paul Joseph. I thank you, Lula, for helping out, and God bless. Stay well.
Thank you. Thanks, Terence. Thanks,
Okay.
Lula.
You're very welcome. Bye-bye.